You might think all social connections are good for your health as you age, but did you know that recent research suggests certain relationships can actually harm your emotional well-being and drain your precious energy reserves? If you've ever left someone's house feeling more exhausted than when you arrived, you're not alone, and there's science behind why this happens. Stay with me until the end, because you'll discover 4 specific types of people that experts recommend limiting your time with, plus gentle strategies to protect your emotional energy without cutting ties completely. Your well-being matters just as much as anyone else's, and today, we're going to talk about how to honor that. Have you ever wondered why some visits leave you feeling uplifted and energized, while others seem to suck the life right out of you? As you know, it's not always easy to identify what's happening in the moment, but your body is giving you important signals about the quality of your social interactions. Here's what's fascinating. Experts in gerontology and psychology have identified that emotional energy management becomes increasingly critical as we age. Studies show that chronic exposure to negative social interactions can impact everything from your sleep quality to your immune system function. Your emotional well-being isn't just about feeling good. It's directly connected to your physical health and longevity. Do you notice how certain people seem to bring out the best in you, while others leave you feeling drained, anxious, or even resentful? This isn't coincidence, and it's not something you should ignore. Research indicates that seniors who actively manage their social connections report higher life satisfaction, better mental health, and even improved cognitive function. The truth is, negativity really is contagious. When you spend time with people who consistently focus on problems without seeking solutions, who manipulate through guilt, or who create unnecessary drama, your nervous system responds as if you are under stress. Could you see yourself starting to pay more attention to how different people make you feel? Let me share with you what relationship experts and geriatricians have identified as the most energy-draining personality types that older adults encounter. Are you doing yourself a disservice by spending time with any of these? First, the chronic complainer. Have you checked your social circle lately for someone who seems to have a problem for every solution? This is the person who can find something negative to say about any situation, no matter how positive. They resist optimism and seem almost uncomfortable when good things happen. Studies show that constant exposure to chronic negativity can actually rewire your brain to focus more on problems than possibilities. Is this something you've experienced? When you leave their company, do you find yourself more focused on what's wrong in your own life rather than what's going right? Experts recommend recognizing that while everyone needs to vent occasionally, there's a significant difference between someone processing a difficult situation and someone who has made complaining their default mode of communication. Second, the self-serving manipulator. This might be the most challenging to identify because these individuals can be quite subtle. Are you familiar with someone who consistently asks for favors but rarely offers help in return? They're masters at using guilt to get what they want, often saying things like, "If you really cared about me, you would," or "After everything I've done for you." Research in social psychology shows that transactional relationships, where everything feels like a trade rather than genuine care, create chronic stress responses in older adults. Have you noticed how uncomfortable you feel when someone makes you feel guilty for setting boundaries? These relationships often leave you questioning your own feelings and wondering if you're being selfish for wanting reciprocity. Could you try paying attention to whether your relationships feel balanced or if you're always the one giving? Third, the drama magnet. Do you know someone who seems to be at the center of every conflict in their life? This person thrives on emotional volatility and often demands that you choose sides in their various disputes. They may present themselves as the victim in every situation, but somehow Drama follows them wherever they go. Experts in healthy aging emphasize that emotional stability becomes increasingly important as we get older. Constant exposure to manufactured drama can elevate stress hormones, impact your sleep, and even affect your cardiovascular health. Is this part of your experience with certain people? These individuals often expect unwavering loyalty and can become upset if you don't get as invested in their conflicts as they are. Have you tried suggesting practical solutions, only to find they're not actually interested in resolving the problem? Fourth, the negative nostalgic. This person lives in the past, but not in a healthy, reflective way. They're bitter about how things used to be and seem determined to convince you that everything is worse now than it was decades ago. They undermine present joy by constantly comparing it unfavorably to the good old days. Research shows that while reminiscing can be healthy for older adults, dwelling in bitterness about the past can contribute to depression and anxiety. Have you noticed how spending time with someone like this affects your own ability to appreciate the present moment? This emotional contamination through pessimism can be particularly challenging because it can make you feel guilty for enjoying current experiences or hopeful about the future. If any of these personality types sound familiar from your own social circle, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Simply comment, "I recognize this," if one of these descriptions hits home. Remember, recognizing these patterns is the first step toward protecting your emotional well-being. Would you consider this? Your emotional energy is a finite resource that deserves the same protection as your physical energy. Studies in geriatric psychology consistently show that older adults who actively curate their social environments report better mental health outcomes, improved cognitive function, and even greater physical vitality. Here's what experts recommend. Instead of feeling guilty about limiting time with energy-draining people, reframe it as an act of self-care that ultimately benefits everyone in your life. When you protect your emotional energy, you have more to give to the relationships that truly nourish you. Have you tried thinking about your social interactions the same way you think about your diet? Just as you wouldn't consistently eat foods that make you feel terrible, you don't have to consistently spend time with people who leave you feeling depleted. Research indicates that seniors who practice social selectivity, being intentional about their relationships, experience what psychologists call socio-emotional optimization. This means you naturally become better at investing your time and energy in relationships that bring mutual joy and support. Could you see yourself trying some of these expert-recommended approaches? The goal isn't to cut people out of your life completely, but to create healthy boundaries that protect your well-being. First, consider setting gentle time limits for visits with energy-draining people. You might say something like, "I can visit for an hour this afternoon," or "Let's plan for a short coffee date." This gives you a natural exit strategy while still maintaining the relationship. Second, have you noticed how you can sometimes shift the energy of a conversation? When someone starts complaining or creating drama, you might gently redirect with questions like, "What's one good thing that happened to you this week?" Or, "Is there anything I can actually help you with regarding this situation?" Third, could you try spending time with these individuals in group settings rather than one-on-one? Often, their behavior is less intense when others are present, and you have natural allies to help maintain positive energy. Fourth, are you doing anything specific to restore your energy after challenging social interactions? Experts recommend having a recovery routine, perhaps a walk in nature, time with a pet, or a favorite calming activity that helps you reset emotionally. Let's talk about the flip side, the people who truly deserve your precious time and emotional energy. Research consistently shows that relationships characterized by mutual respect, genuine interest, and emotional reciprocity contribute significantly to healthy aging. Do you have people in your life who make you feel valued and energized? These are the individuals who respect your time, show genuine interest in your well-being, and contribute positively to conversations. They celebrate your successes without jealousy and offer support during challenges without making it about themselves. Studies indicate that even 1 or 2 high-quality relationships can have more positive impact on your health than multiple superficial or draining connections. Have you considered focusing more of your social energy on deepening these meaningful relationships? Is this something you've experienced? How much more you enjoy social activities when you're with people who appreciate you for who you are right now, rather than trying to change you or drain your emotional resources. Here's what I want you to remember. Choosing to protect your emotional energy isn't selfish. It's essential self-care that allows you to show up as your best self for the people who truly matter. Would you consider that your time, energy, and emotional well-being are just as important as anyone else's? Research in positive aging emphasizes that you have not only the right, but the responsibility to curate your social environment in ways that support your mental and physical health. This doesn't mean you should abandon family members or friends who are going through difficult times, but it does mean you can set loving boundaries that protect your well-being. Could you try viewing this as an act of wisdom rather than selfishness? After decades of life experience, you've earned the right to choose how you spend your precious time and with whom you share your energy. Have you noticed that when you feel emotionally nourished and energized, you actually have more to give to others? This is what experts call the oxygen mask principle. You have to take care of yourself first in order to truly help others. Are you ready to start implementing some gentle changes? Here's what experts recommend as practical first steps. First, could you spend a few minutes this week reflecting on your recent social interactions? Notice which ones left you feeling energized and which ones left you feeling drained. There's no judgment here, just awareness. Second, would you consider having an honest conversation with yourself about which relationships might benefit from some gentle boundaries? Remember, this isn't about cutting people off, but about protecting your emotional energy. Third, have you thought about investing more time in the relationships that truly nourish you? Sometimes we get so caught up in maintaining draining relationships that we neglect the ones that bring us joy. Finally, could you create your own energy recovery routine? What activities, places, or people help you feel restored and peaceful? Make these a regular part of your week. Remember, you're not alone in navigating these relationship challenges. Many older adults struggle with the balance between maintaining social connections and protecting their emotional well-being. The wisdom lies in recognizing that quality relationships will always be more valuable than quantity. Have you found that some of your most meaningful connections have deepened as you've gotten older? This is because you've developed the wisdom to recognize authentic care and mutual respect when you see it. Could you see yourself as part of a community of people who are committed to supporting each other's well-being rather than draining each other's energy? This is what healthy aging communities look like: people who lift each other up rather than tear each other down. If you're still with me and you're ready to start protecting your emotional energy while nurturing the relationships that truly matter, I'd love to hear from you. Comment "feeling my best" below to let me know you're committed to this journey of intentional relationship management. Like this video if it resonated with you, and subscribe for more gentle, science-backed advice on healthy aging and emotional well-being. Let's support each other in creating social environments that help us thrive at every stage of life. Remember, your emotional energy is precious, and you have every right to protect it. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and appreciate the positive energy you bring when you're feeling your best. You deserve relationships that energize rather than drain you, and it's never too late to start cultivating them. Here's to your emotional well-being and the wisdom that comes with age. Take care of yourself. You're worth it.